Hey guys, it's Angelo getting back on Campionato. In today's podcast, I'm going to be talking about Italian football kits that I love, some of which have lost market share in 2025, but they're still awesome, if you ask me. So to begin with, I'm going to be talking about Kappa. And if anybody knows anything about Italian football back in the 90s and the early 2000s, and even before then, Kappa was a phenomenal brand. They had Juventus. Juventus had some timeless kits that if somebody wore them today, people would be like, "Wow, that's really beautiful kit." In Kappa. Also, Roma had an iconic one too that I would recommend to anybody. And there's many more different clubs that had Kappa, and you could go online and Google it. Kappa, soccer jerseys present in the past, and an abundance will come up from Serie A clubs to clubs all around the world. So make sure you guys do that. If you guys need any examples, let me know and I can send them to you. The second one was Diadora. Diadora, I just loved the Diadora. And I think my love with Diadora began with Roberto Baggio. In USA 94, Roberto Baggio had a set of cleats that were phenomenal. They had yellow Diadora symbol on the cleat. It was a black cleat, and they had kangaroo leather. They were just made specifically for him, and they were hot yellow, and you could even buy them today. I think they did a new version of that or something similar if you go on Diadora's website and you look for soccer cleats. But besides soccer cleats, they also did, represent soccer clubs, and soccer clubs had, Diadora kits and everything like that. So once again, I urge you go on Google, Google Diadora soccer jerseys, past and present. Roma, I know Roma was a club that was had Diadora kits at one point. I know the Italian national team back in, I believe, '94 had Diadora kits, and there was a lot more out there. You just have to Google it. And if you need any examples, let me know. Moving on from Diadora, we also had Lotto, similar. Lotto, they had kits, for many of the Serie A teams and others around the world. Fila or Fila, I'm really not sure how to pronounce it, but that's another great brand that, like Kappa, Diadora, and Lotto, they've kind of lost market share these days, because the Nikes and the Adidases of the world, they took over and kind of own the market right now. And it's unfortunate because Kappa, Diadora, Lotto, and Fila, they did great work. Maybe these clubs are going with Adidas and Nike and brands like that because they get them a better deal. I don't know, but if you look back at these jerseys, Kappa, Diadora, Lotto, and Fila, they had really nice stuff and really fashionable. So I urge you guys to take a look at that stuff. And there's some other brands that I want to talk about, but I just wanted to point out not to forget Kappa, Diadora, Lotto, and Fila. They had great stuff that you can still buy today on these soccer shops that the clubs in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s were wearing that you guys could wear today. And they also have, obviously, they have new products out, and if you go on their website, you can see that. But moving on to today, some other brands that I see that they're kind of cool, but I don't think they're as flashy as the Kappa, Diodoras, Lotto, and Fila. You have sometimes I see the referees, they have They're sponsored by, or they have their kits made by Macron or Jevova, or I don't know how to pronounce this, Legea. So those are all, I usually see those kits on referees, and they said, yeah, they must change it yearly, um, based on certain criteria. But moving on from there, this brand that I see today that I think is a really great brand that is making soccer kits is the EA7, the Emperor Armani 7. I first became aware of it when obviously Napoli, had it on their jersey. I really didn't understand what this EA7 was until I Googled it and I saw that it was Emperor Armani, and I said, oh, it's fitting that, an Italian team is going to have, a jersey made by Armani. I thought it was kind of like crazy because Armani, for me, Armani usually I put Armani with like high end clothes and didn't really ever think about them getting into the sports market or trying to sell jerseys. And I think it's a brilliant idea. I mean, you have Napoli, which is a beautiful place in the world, and you have Napoli. The club is it's a great club, and it's in Italy. So who's better than them to wear Emperor Armani 7? And if you go on their website, you got to go to EA7, not like their standard website, but if you Google EA7, it brings you to, I believe it's like their sports or athletic, division or whatnot. But EA7, you go to that website, they have track suits, they have shirts, a lot of athletic wear. It's great. Unfortunately, you cannot buy the Napoli shirt from there. You have to go to the Napoli shop if you want to get that. You got to go to the Napoli shop to get jerseys and any kind of gear. That's EA7. That must be some kind of deal that Napoli has with EA7, which is okay. But that's my up and comer EA7. I think that it's just a great brand, and with a great club, and they also have done other stuff. Another way that I learned about EA7 was because I was watching the Summer Olympics a couple years ago, and I saw that some of the Italian team, they had this black hooded sweatshirt, and basically, again, it had the EA7 on it, and I really didn't put two and two together because I didn't know that that Armani had like this athletic wear, and I was like, I want that sweater, and unfortunately, I could not find it. I went on Emperor Armani's website, and they didn't have any more. They were sold out or whatnot. But it's a black hoodie, and it says Italia on the front. It had Olympic rings, and it said EA7 on it. I just thought it was fire. It was fire. I found I found them online, but they were from some like shady, web stores, and I didn't, believe that it was actually like authentic Armani gear. So I didn't bother buying it. I didn't bother buying it. That was an alarm. That was an alarm that went off on my that was an alarm that went off on my phone. But anyways, I didn't bother buying this these items online, this Emperor Armani Italia Olympic shirt, because I felt that it was a knockoff and it wasn't going to be the authentic one. So I'm waiting to see with the Olympics in Milan if EA7 comes out with another one, and I'm going to buy it for sure because it's just in my opinion, it's a phenomenal product. So having said that, I wanted to come on today to tell you about these brands. And if you got some time, go online, Google it. Um, my hot takes for this podcast is, number one, make sure if you're looking for some good soccer gear, you go online, Google Kappa, Diadora, Lotto, and Fila separately. Current and past Italian soccer jerseys, and you'll find a whole slew of soccer jerseys that I'm sure you'll love. I'm sure you'll love it. So from the Juventus Kappa to the Roma Kappa to the Roma Diadora, the Italian national team Diadora, Lotto, Fila, awesome stuff. Go check it out. Also, if you want some new up and coming stuff, go to EA7 website or go to the Napoli shop, or keep an eye out for other clubs or athletic organizations that EA7 sponsors. They really have some nice stuff. Go to their website, EA7. They have some nice tracksuits. I know that Francesco Totti and Luca Toni and I believe Christian Vieri, they were in New York. They're promoting EA7 in New York and stuff like that. It is phenomenal, man. It's phenomenal quality, and I wouldn't be telling you this if I didn't think you guys. Listen. I'm not getting anything from Kappa, Diadora, Lotto, or Fila, or EA7, or Macron, Javova, or Lige, or Legea. I'm not getting anything. I'm just coming over here to inform you guys that this is great stuff, great products. If you're looking for soccer outfits, soccer gear, that's the place where you got to go. I know, Adidas and Nike, that's, to me, that's your run of the mill, like soccer gear. But if you want some specialty stuff, that's what you got to do. Kappa, Diadora, Lotto, Fila, EA7. Phenomenal stuff. Let me know what you guys get. Don't forget to subscribe, follow me, like this video. It helps our community, helps me, help grow our community. Follow us on other platforms. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on X. All right, we'll see you guys. Have a good day.